Hello dear students of the third secondary stage and welcome to a new lesson. Today we're going to deal with revision 1 based on units 1, 2 and 3. The first word we have is common. Common is an adjective which means شائع أو منتشر. بيقول لنا if something is common, it is found in large numbers or it happens often. We have an example. بيقول لنا his name is Hanson, a common name in a way. Example. Oil pollution is the commonest cause of death for seabirds. يبقى التلوث بالأويل أو طبعا oil بتيجي بمعنى البترول، يعني تلوث بواسطة البترول من المسببات الشائعة للوفيات للسي بيردز اللي هي للطيور البحرية يعني. If something is common to two or more people or groups, it is done, possessed or used by them all. يبقى لو في حاجة common لاثنين أو لأكثر من الناس معناها إن هي إيه؟ It is done أو possessed or used by them all. يعني مشتركة. في الإكزامبل بيقول لنا such behavior is common. هذا السلوك is common to all young people. يعني مشترك ما بين كل الشباب أو كل الشباب بتعمل نفس السلوك. Having common. طبعا دي phrase معناها لديه شيء مشترك. If two or more things have something in common, they have the same characteristic or feature. طيب. في الإكزامبل بيقول لنا they have got certain features in common. ليهم سمات معينة مشتركة. In common يعني مشترك. If two or more people have something in common, they share the same interests or experiences. He had very little in common with his sister. يعني هو لديه القليل ما بينه وبين أخته من الاهتمامات المشتركة. Swarm robotics اللي هو علم الروبوتات المتعددة. يقول لنا swarm robotics is an approach to the coordination of multiple robots as a system which consists of large numbers of mostly simple physical robots. ومديني example بيقول لنا Jasmine went to Harvard University to study swarm robotics. معنا كلمة contribution. Contribution is a noun, a countable noun, اسم يعد. تعالوا نشوف معناه ايه. بيقول لنا if you have a contribution to something, you do something to help make it successful or to produce it. الإكزامبل بيقول لنا he was awarded a prize. منح جائزة for his contribution to world peace. لإسهاماته في السلام العالمي. A contribution is a sum of money. ممكن تيجي بمعنى مبلغ من المال that you gave in order to help pay for something. للمساعدة في عمل شيء. His company has made charitable contributions. الشركة بتاعته قدمت إسهامات خيرية of $5 million. معانا كمان كلمة autonomous. Autonomous is an adjective which means استقلالي أو مستقل. بيقول لنا an autonomous country, organization or group governs or controls itself rather than being controlled by anyone else. ومديني example بيقول لي Turkey is an autonomous country. دولة مستقلة. An autonomous person makes their own decisions rather than being influenced by someone else. شخص مستقل يعني لا يتلقى قرارات من آخرين، قراراته نابعة من ذاته. هذا بنقول عليه autonomous person. في الإكزامبل بيقول لنا he treated us as autonomous individuals. عملنا كأفراد مستقلين who had to learn to make up our own minds about important issues. طبعا make up our own minds يعني نتخذ قراراتنا about important issues بشأن الشؤون المهمة أو بخصوص الشؤون المهمة أو القضايا. طبعا إيشو بمعنى قضية يعني معها قضايا. inspire بمعنى يلهم. verb بيقول لنا if someone or something inspires you they give you new ideas and a strong feeling of enthusiasm. enthusiasm اللي هي الحماسة. في example بيقول لنا دكتور مصطفى محمود has inspired generations of readers. لقد ألهم دكتور مصطفى محمود أجيالا من القراء. PhD بتكتب بالطريقة دي وممكن أكتبها بالطريقة الثانية PH.D. وده طبعا noun abbreviation and abbreviation for Doctor of Philosophy. Doctor of Philosophy أو Philosophy Doctor درجة الدكتوراه. A PhD is a degree awarded to people. هي درجة يتم منحها للناس who have done advanced research اللي قاموا بأبحاث متقدمة into a particular subject في مجال معين أو في موضوع معين. فالإكزامبل بيقول لنا he is highly educated. هو متعلم بشكل يعني متقدم with a PhD in chemistry بدرجة الدكتوراه في الكيمياء أو حاصل على الدكتوراه في الكيمياء. Now we're going to shift it to the exercise. بيقول لنا choose a correct answer from A, B, C, or D. Number 1, it was a space practice for prisoners to carve objects from animal bones to pass the time. كان إيه يا ترى؟ كان scarce practice. scarce طبعا بتيجي بمعنى إيه؟ بمعنى شيء أقل من المطلوب يعني غير متاح للناس بالشكل المطلوب بنقول عليه scarce. في معانا common بمعنى شائع. rare بمعنى نادر يعني موجود بندرة يعني موجود بشكل قليل في الكون أو في العالم. fair بمعنى عادل تيجي معنى أشقر. طبعا it was common practice يعني كان أمر إيه common يعني مألوف أو شائع تمام أو نشاط. طبعا احنا عارفين إن practice معنى نشاط مألوف أو شائع بين السجناء إن هم بيحفروا يحفروا objects from animal bones بيعملوا carving للأشياء من عظام الحيوانات عشان يعدوا الوقت to pass the time. My granddad was a talented person. كان راجل موهوب. He spaced me to think and write. طبعا concluded لأ. conclude معناها يستنتج و consisted من consist معناها يتكون أو يتركب و inspired ألهمني inspired me to think and write. طبعا هي دي الإجابة الصحيحة. tried طبعا حاول. إجابة طبعا inspired. Number 3 بيقول لنا رغد was awarded Nobel Prize for her space to world freedom. منحت رغد جائزة نوبل لإيه؟ يا ترى هي mention يذكر contribution يعني إسهام attention انتباه ولا نيشن أمة؟ طبعا رغد was awarded Nobel Prize، منحت جائزة نوبل لإسهامها في الحرية على مستوى العالم. Contribution. Focus on jobs. مديني مجموعة من السبتايتلز، وطبعا مديني الأول كلمة CV. CV طبعا احنا لازم نبقى عارفين ان CV is an abbreviation for curriculum vitae. بس CV دي اختصار لكلمة curriculum vitae. طيب اللي هي سيرة ذاتية. طبعا الاسم اللي معانا سارة أحمد. education بتاعها، التعليم بتاعها ايه؟ degree in computing، حصل على درجة علمية في الإحصاء and electronics engineering وهندسة الإلكترونيات، وكمان PhD in swarm robotics ودرجة الدكتوراه في swarm robotics. الجوب senior developer ESB robotics. الديوتيز بتاعتها developing software for robots. biggest achievement أعظم إنجازاتها developed a new robot، يعني صممت new robot which will teach young people about programming، هيعلم الناس بشأن البرمجة. كمان معانا CV لشخص آخر أماني صفوت. education بتاعها degree in mechanical engineering، حصلت على درجة علمية في الهندسة الميكانيكية. وظيفتها car engineer، مهندسة سيارات ماهندرا racing. duties prepare the cars for race days. the biggest achievement بتاعتها made a contribution to the development of electric powered racing cars، عملت إسهام في تنمية سباق السيارات الكهربائية. طبعا electric powered يعني يعمل بالكهرباء. أول سؤال معانا بيقول لنا What do أماني and Sarah's jobs have in common؟ إيه المشترك ما بين وظيفة سارة وأماني؟ طبعا have in common يعني مشترك. They are both engineers، كلاهما مهندسين. They both made great achievements، كلاهما حققا إنجازات عظيمة. Question number 2. What skills do you think you need to do these jobs؟ إيه المهارات اللي تعتقد إن إحنا محتاجينها للقيام بهذه الوظائف؟ طبعا math and computer skills، رياضيات، مهارات الكمبيوتر، critical thinking، التفكير النقدي، creativity، الإبداع، communication and reasoning. Number 3. What do you think swarm robotics mean؟ إيه معنى swarm robotics؟ طبعا swarm robotics coordination of multiple robots working together to perform a task. مجموعة من الروبوتس متعددة بتعمل سويا لإنجاز مهمة معينة. طبعا بيقول لنا listen and write the questions the interviewer asks, then tell your partner what questions you heard. طبعا احنا متعودين ان احنا بنسمع listening وبنفكر في السؤال اللي بيكون موجود على السكرين. بعد ما بنسمع بنجاوب على الأسئلة، وآخر حاجة بنعمل أو بنظهر listening text وبنناقش the unknown words. Now let's listen to the listening part. It is between the interviewer and Sarah. The interviewer: how did you get into working with robots? Have you always wanted to be an engineer? Sarah: it was my dad. Really, he's worked as a computer scientist all his life. and was always playing with computers. He bought me my first computer when I was about 7, and I love it. I was always experimenting on it. The interviewer: and you studied computer science at university? Sarah: yes, actually it was computing and electronics engineering. Then I carried on studying and did a PhD in swarm robotics. Interviewer: what's that? Sarah: it's using groups of autonomous robots to work together to perform a task. Interviewer: and what do you do in your spare time? Sarah: I love music. It's very similar to engineering in some ways, like computer coding. It's a type of language used to communicate, and you need to work hard and practice a lot before you can be creative with it. Interviewer: and what advice would you give to other girls who want to go into robotics? Sarah: go for it. I want to inspire more women to go into the industry because robots are fun and they'll enjoy it. Now, dear students, we're gonna answer this question. طبعا مطلوب مننا ان احنا نقول الأسئلة اللي the interviewer asks. First question طبعا سأل قال how did you get into working with robots? Question number 2, have you always wanted to be an engineer? Yes, bravo. Question number 3, you studied computer science at university. طبعا ده مش the traditional structure of a question, ولكن هو اداها نبرة السؤال, the intonation of a question, فبقت question. You studied computer science at university? طيب. Number 4, what do you do in your spare time? Number 5, what advice would you give to other girls who want to go into robotics? طيب دلوقتي يلا كده نفكر في إجابات الأسئلة دي. بيقول لي listen again and answer the questions that you wrote in exercise 3. Our question كان معانا how did you get into working with robots? طبعا الإجابة my dad worked as a computer scientist all his life and was always playing with computers. Question number 2, have you always wanted to be an engineer? طبعا الإجابة my dad bought me my first computer when I was about 7 and I love it. I was always experimenting on it. Number 3, have you studied computer science at university? طبعا الإجابة yes, actually it was computing and electronics engineering. Question number 4, what do you do in your spare time? طبعا I love music. It's very similar to engineering in some ways. Number 5, what advice would you give to other girls who want to go into robotics? Go for it! I want to inspire more women to go into the industry because robots are fun and they'll enjoy it. And now, dear students, we're gonna shift to the text. Let's show it. The interviewer بيقول how did you get into working with robots? Have you always wanted to be an engineer? Sarah: it was my dad, really. He has worked يعني as a computer scientist all his life and was always playing with computers. He bought me my first computer when I was about 7 and I love it. I was always experimenting on it. interviewer قال لها and you studied computer science at university. طبعا it's not the traditional structure of a question زي ما احنا قلنا قبل كده، ولكن the interviewer gave it the intonation of a question or the question intonation فبقى سؤال. And you studied computer science at university. This is the question intonation. سارة ردت قالت yes, actually it was computing and electronics. It was computing and electronics engineering. Then I carried on studying and did a PhD. طبعا do PhD مش make. in swarm robotics. طبعا PhD اللي هي philosophy doctor. interviewer بيقول what's that؟ ايه ال swarm robotics اللي انت بتتكلمي عليه ده؟ فسارة قالت it's using groups of autonomous robots to work together to perform a task. Interviewer and what do you do in your spare time? طبعا spare time equals free time equals leisure time. Sarah, I love music. It's very similar to engineering in some ways. Like computer coding, it's a type of language used to communicate. طبعا communicate يتواصل, which usually collocates with the preposition with, communicate with. And you need to work hard and practice a lot before you can be creative with it. رد الانترفيور وقال and what advice would you give to other girls who want to go into robotics? فردت سارة قالت go for it. I want to inspire more women to go into the industry because robots are fun and they'll enjoy it. And now, dear students, we have come to the end of this lesson. Wishing good luck and bye-bye.